All for me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tarnbeer. This is Andrea. This is Rebecca, and today we will be talking about female vocal patterns and power. So we'll start off by introducing the topic. So in the introduction, we will talk about what vocal frying is, what uptalking is, what are the causes of vocal fry, and then we'll break our presentation into two main parts, personal and professional life. In our personal life, we will talk about how these distinctive speech patterns affect women and their self-image and their self-esteem, their self-consciousness, and then also in the professional life, we will tell you how these different speech patterns affect women in the workplace and in particular in Hollywood. And then we'll give you perspectives on both sides and conclude. So now we'll have Rebecca tell us about a little bit about what vocal fry is and also about how this affects women in their personal lives.
So we've all been judged in our lives, whether it's been by our family, by our friends, by our co-workers, and it's really not a good feeling. But women especially are being constantly judged by their looks, by their haircut, their body shape, their fashion, and if it wasn't enough, now they're being judged by the vocal patterns they're using in their speech. So now I'm going to introduce to you what is vocal fry and uptalking. So vocal fry is the low vibratory, creaky voice that comes in the speech, especially at the end of sentences. The technical explanation for vocal fry is when the vocal folds close together completely and pop back up. When they're close together, there's a little amount of air passing through, which gives this impression that your voice is frying or that the person using vocal frying is actually running out of fuel. And uptalking is the rising intonation pattern or valley speak, as if you were asking a question at the end of the sentence. What I'm gonna say first is about vocal fry and the effect on women's personal lives nowadays. Starting with some facts about women in general, a study on girls and women's self-esteem by the Heart of Leadership has shown that 7 in 10 women believe they are not good enough or don't measure up in some way. And 74% of women, they say they're under pressure every day to please others in their everyday life. And now women have another reason to complain about their low self-esteem. Because vocal fry is mostly treated as a negative aspect of a person's speech. And this judgment is decreasing women's confidence, leading them to not wanting to speak up in public, not wanting to go out there and just feel empowered to do what they want to do. In other words, it brings females' self-esteem down in every way. Now I'm going to show you a video, it's 30 seconds, and you're going to see what people are saying about women who use vocal fry or uptalking.
Did anybody ever tell you you have kind of a childlike voice?
Oh God, your voice is so annoying, it's so squeaky, it's so high.
Frantic, grating, obnoxious.
Take a shot of whiskey, that may help your voice sound more rich.
A woman's voice is not authoritative. People will not believe her.
I got this letter in the mail. It's written on a note card, and it basically tells me that I sound like a Kardashian sister.
So the image that people have for women who are using vocal fry and uptalking is that they are less competent and less trustworthy. Remember when I say that vocal frying makes the impression that the person is actually running out of fuel? People are saying that women are running out of ideas. Studies are also saying that the usage of vocal patterns come out of a subconscious instinct to fit in. Going back to statistics, most women are always trying to please everyone and be into worldwide trends in order to feel accepted and powerful. Tarban now is going to explain this subject further about vocal frying, business, women's life, and Hollywood.
So, as Rebecca just stated, women are frequently judged in their personal lives for various reasons. However, this judgment also slightly leads into a woman's professional life. We find that in the workplace nowadays, women are constantly judged, whether it's based on gender, whether it's based on compensation, what they wear, appearance, their power, what position they're taking. And we find that now that adding to these list of judgments is actually the concept of vocal fry. So recently, professors and employers are stating that women who use these vocal patterns are unprofessional and undesirable for various reasons, because including the reason that they cannot communicate properly and effectively with their coworkers and people within the business. So because of these vocal frying patterns and the uptalking patterns, they believe that women are losing power and presence. So one research study shows that professors would like to move females up into higher positions such as CEO positions. However, they do not feel comfortable doing this because women lack women who use vocal fry lack unprofessionalism, and they also sound less hireable, less desirable, and not well educated. So an American study found that nearly 2/3 of women of undergraduates actually perceive vocal fry as a positive form of speech, and they usually use this during social gatherings when they're with their friends during informal events. However, because of the heavy usage of this vocal pattern and uptalking, we see that it's seeping into females' workplace and life in Hollywood. So we had this study, it's an American study, which grabbed a group of females and broke them into two sections. They had them say the phrase, "Thank you for considering me for this opportunity," both in vocal fry and in uptalking. And what they discovered was that females who talk in vocal fry are actually undesirable, and they do not sound as appealing to an employer compared to those who talk with a normal tone. So they had a panel of employers, and these employers stated that it's easier for gatekeepers to disregard women who use running-on sentences, soft-spoken, vocal fry, uptalking, because they sound unprofessional and it's not a good form of communication. Professors and employers state that when you're working in a business, you're communicating with various groups of people, your employees, your stakeholders, your suppliers, your customers, people of higher and lower positions of you, and communication is an important skill, and communication effectively and professionally is also something that most employers now require. In response to this, many females stated that they use these speech patterns oftentimes not knowing that they're doing it. Much like ourselves, we didn't know that we were using these patterns until we did a lot of research about them. Furthermore, females state that they use these vocal patterns especially in male-dominated occupations such as engineering or in construction, which they're afraid that they're not being heard or they're afraid of being interrupted. So they use these patterns to gain attention. So now I'll just tell you a little bit about Hollywood. We find that vocal fry is a trend in the music and film industry. More so, it started in the music industry with Katy Perry and Kesha and their songs in the late 1900s and also early 200s. And now we see that these vocal frying and uptalking patterns are actually increasing celebrities' power and presence. Kim Kardashian or Katy Perry, Kesha, or Britney Spears are all women who are globally powerful, and when they started using this form of singing, they actually started to achieve a lot of attention and power, and even singers who weren't using these patterns actually started growing on. So we see that Britney Spears is actually one of the very first vocal fryers, and before it even became a term known to speech pathologists, and she was well known for her singing. However, the singing has affected her. Now we see that the singing has affected her both positively and negatively. Similarly, Katy Perry is also a songwriter and a singer who uses these vocal patterns. A more significant example is actually Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian sisters. They not only use this vocal fry when they're on interviews or sometimes in movies, but they also use it in their everyday life. And as Rebecca mentioned, typically vocal fry is actually used at the end of sentences, but I'll show you a video later and you'll actually see that Kim Kardashian is using this for every single word. So while these actresses and these singers actually have a lot of presence and power, they are losing some of it now because a lot of speech pathologist professors are actually see vocal fry as an epidemic, and they blame celebrities for introducing this vocal fry concept to young females, and they believe that the only reason that young females use these speech patterns is because they're strongly influenced by these celebrities and by these long-lasting female figures. So at times, even in interviews, at times when, for example, Kim Kardashian was given an interview and one of the interviewers was actually saying how irritating and unprofessional she sounds because she's using vocal fry every single time. So while in the workplace it is generally seen as a negative concept and it's limiting women's career opportunities, in Hollywood we see that to some extent it is acceptable. More so in the last couple decades it's been more acceptable because it's been seen as a new trend. You know, everyone's been using it, people are listening to that type of music. However, now that speech pathologists are calling this an epidemic and are blaming actresses and singers for this, we see that Kim Kardashian, Britney Spears, and Katy Perry actually are receiving a lot of criticism for this. Are actually receiving a lot of criticism for this, and this is actually evident in the richest top 10 most irritating female celebrity voices, in which Kim Kardashian is rated number 1, Katy Perry number 6, and Britney Spears is rated number 8. So in this article, what I realized was that a lot of these females are actually, while they were accepted before for their speech patterns, not so much now, because now it's seen as an unprofessional, undesirable tone. So now we'll have Andrea tell us a little bit about perspective. So now I'm just going to play a video which is actually going to show you a little clip about Kim Kardashian and about females talking about why they use this vocal pattern.
Adoptable animals on Earth. These days, coyotes are everywhere.
Young women are speaking. Experts call it vocal fry, and they believe Hollywood and reality TV could be to blame here.
As our Melissa Reed reports, it has some local doctors a bit worried.
I don't think it's asking for too much to stay.
You've probably never heard of it, but you've probably heard it before.
It is my birthday. I'm allowed to have a little fun after all. Hi, guys.
Experts call it vocal fry.
That's so cute, or that's so pretty.
And it's creeping into the conversations of young women.
I love your makeup.
Vocal fry is when the voice sinks from the front to the back. It sounds kind of like bacon sizzling on a pan. So it sounds like this. Instead of saying, hello, how are you? We'd say, hello, how are you? I'm okay.
Dr. Nicole Maronian with the Laryngology and Voice Disorder Center at UH says she's seen more cases of vocal fry, also known as glottal fry, in young women.
In high schools and middle schools, I've noticed that a lot more. From my generation, I would just initially say, that's like a valley girl.
So why is this low pitch weight?
So as this video mentioned, it is more of a generational thing instead of using these vocal distinctive patterns. And we see a lot of females, you know, they're with their friends when they're using these patterns. You know, they're sitting at a Tim Hortons or a coffee shop, and a lot of young females are stating that, you know, it's a trend, it's a way of being accepted, and if you don't do it, it's almost like you're left out. And we also see a Hollywood example, Kim Kardashian. You will see how she vocal fries using every sentence and not just some parts. So now we'll have Andrea tell us about the both perspectives of both sides and conclude for us.
Okay, so as explained before, vocal patterns such as vocal fry and out talking are being more noticed by society nowadays. So young girls that use these vocal patterns are being judged for the way they speak. Women that use these vocal patterns are seen as less trustworthy, and they're not seen as competent as others who don't. And so there was a study that was made and that said that women that use these vocal patterns are less hireable and not as educated as others that don't. But as Anne Friedman said on one of her articles, if I'm saying something important and all the listener can pay attention to is how I'm saying it, whose problem is that? So there's Naomi Wolf, who is an American writer and a journalist. She believes that women that use these vocal patterns are sentenced to not be successful, and because this lack of professionalism in their voices, because these might come from a perspective that women need to be they need to be positive that what they're saying is true, and they need to be sure that people need to know that they believe in what they're saying. So if they're always talking in the way that they are asking a question, other people might see it as they need assurance that what they're saying is true. So other people see it as they don't believe that what they're saying is actually right. So there's another point of view that there's Ivanka Trump, and I'm gonna show you a video of her. She's an American businesswoman, a model, and a writer. And I just want you to listen to how she speaks from 16. 16 seconds. That's what.
Hi, I'm Baruch here at Trump Tower on New York's Fifth Avenue. I sat down today to talk with Ivanka Trump about real estate, jewelry, and her best-selling book, The Trump Card. So we are here in Trump Tower, the headquarters of the real estate empire that you are such an instrumental part of. And I'd be really curious to know when you realized that real estate was going to be your path.
Wow. I mean, I don't know that there was ever a point in my life when I thought I would take another road. So pretty much since inception, this was something that I wanted to do. I think part of it is hereditary. I think part of it is that my family, for so many generations, on my mother's side as well as my father's, have been involved in development, building, engineering, construction. So most of my formative memories involve a bulldozer or construction site. So I think it's something I always grew up with, and I just really love doing.
So in this video, we can see that Ivanka Trump, she's a really professional, successful woman, and she has a best-selling book, and in this interview, she's obviously using vocal fry, but this doesn't mean that necessarily that she has to fail on the workplace. We can see that she's using vocal fry and she's really successful at this point in her life. So women should not be judged for the way they speak because they're already self-conscious about themselves, and this is just adding one more thing to the list. There's already being self-conscious about their height, their weight, their looks, and now we're adding to this there's their way they talk. So this is actually making women be silent. Women are not gonna be confident on their voices because people are gonna be judging them for how they speak. They're gonna feel like every time they talk, people are gonna say that their voice is annoying or that they don't wanna listen to them. So they're actually gonna make women be silent in the future. And another point is that men also do this. Men also use this vocal fry, and we don't see them being judged for it. I'm not saying that men should be judged for it, but I'm saying that no one should be judged for the way they speak. It's not a big problem, so it shouldn't be taken for consideration for if somebody's intelligent or not. So, for my conclusion, so women should not be judged for this anymore because this is making them lower their self-esteem. It's making many effects on them, and we all see differences that happen in the world. We all see that everything is changing. So we should just embrace the change because everything's gonna change over time. People this generation are talking this way, and it's really normal for them. Because I'm pretty sure that most of you didn't even know that vocal fry existed or that up-talking was actually something that existed. So it is actually normal for us, but for older generations, it might not be. But in the future, when the next generation is born, they might have their own way of speaking that might be different for us, and we probably won't like it. But it's actually how the world works, and how this is going to work for the rest of times. So if anyone's talking to you about something important, you should be paying attention to what they're saying and not how they're saying it. Thank you.